Hello everyone, this is Benny Hills back with another modern video, and today we are playing Boggles. So I messed around a little bit with a Bant build that was playing Curious Obsession and Invisible Stalker, and it was fine, but I think I wanted a bit more consistency and a better mana base, so we're going with green-white today, and pretty standard, so we have 4 Slippery Boggle, 1/1 hexproof, and 4 Glade Cover Scout, 1/1 hexproof. That's the core of the deck. And your goal is to play one of these on turn 1 every game, and then load it up with auras. So stuff like Rancor to boost the power, stuff like Spider Umbra to give it totem armor, which lets it stay alive if it would die. Ethereal Armor to really beef it up a lot. Daybreak Coronet just to give it every single keyword and make it impossible to race. And then there's a couple other things, like we have a couple Keen Senses that let you draw cards when they hit, a Spirit Link for more lifelink, Spirit Mantle, some Griff Spoons to give flying. So we have a grab bag of a couple different numbers here. Also all the glitters to pump it up, just as worse copies of Ethereal Armor. We're also playing 4 Core Spirit Dancer. So this card is not hexproof, so it's much worse against stuff like Fatal Push and Path to Exile, but it's very easy to take it out of Lightning Bolt range. So against damage-based removal, this card is quite strong. And then even if they do kill it in response, at least you get to draw a card, so that's something. And mana base is pretty simple, just a lot of green-white lands, 1 of each basic, and 1 Dryad Arbor. So all of our fetch lands, even though we have a bit more white in the deck than green, I think, all of our fetch lands are green, so they can find this Dryad Arbor, which is really important against things like Liliana of the Veil. Then in the sideboard, we have Lurrus. That's 1 spicy tech. I mean, it's pretty standard, but it's no cost at all to meet this restriction. And yeah, it's a little bit expensive for this deck to get up to basically 6 mana, but it's a really powerful backup plan. 4 ley lines, just really good against some combo decks, and also good against sacrifice effects. A Stony Silence and some Rest in Peace, some Paths, some Gaddock Teagues for like board sweepers and stuff like that, and then 3 Seal of Primordium, primarily for stuff like Chalice of the Void. You can also play Force of Vigor in this spot, but actually that brings me to another point I wanted to mention. I have this at the beginning of my videos, but I would really, really appreciate it if anyone could shoot me a couple bucks on Venmo at Benjamin-Hill-4. I make all of these videos, like I have to buy all the cards for all of these decks, and like also when I'm trying to make new videos, I spend more time like on brews that are less successful. Like I can accumulate infinite treasure chests and play points if I only play blue-white control, but when I try other stuff like this, it does sometimes have a lower EV, and so between paying an editor and buying new cards and playing worse decks, there are a lot of expenses that can add up. So I really, really appreciate any time someone can kick me a few bucks there. But this is the deck. I'm pretty excited to hop into a league, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can boggle some people down. All right, here we are. We are on the play against Faplatus 21. We will reveal our Lurrus and hopefully have a boggle in our opener. Sweet. The end seems pretty great. We have no keywords that we can give other than First Strike, I guess. But we can just put double enchantment on the Glade Cover Scout, and that'll become pretty big, so we will keep. I think we're just going to shock and play, yeah, we're just going to use our, yeah, I think we're going to shock. There's some matchups where we really want to fetch basics to preserve our life total, and some matchups where we really want to fetch non-basics to make sure Path and Field of Ruin are not going to mess us up too much, so I'm just going to delay the decision on what to fetch here. We're likely going to be tapping all of our mana every turn, so I don't think we're going to have an opportunity to play this Temple Garden tapped, so we will do this. Playing against no companion. Hallowed Fountain, so likely control deck. We don't, oof, that was a bad draw. We don't have an Umbra, so that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, we would definitely love to have, something that can give us totem armor to protect us against Supreme Verdict, although I have seen these players move away from Supreme Verdict a bit. I think I'm just going to put all the glitters on this. We could go double spell, but I kind of want to save this in case they have an answer, and we're still going to get to use our mana all the way. So against Hallowed Fountain, I don't care about my life total, so I'm just going to fetch another Temple Garden. And now if we draw any enchantment, we can have a lot of power next turn with Ethereal Armor plus whatever we draw. Worth noting here, so I'm playing 2 All the Glitters and 2 Keen Sense. And I thought about doing 4 of either one. This would be a million times better as Keen Sense here. If we could put Ethereal Armor plus Keen Sense and hit for more and draw a card, that would be much, much preferable. So, I think we're going to hold off. Well, now we'll play the Dryad Arbor here. I'm going to go Ethereal Armor. Griff's Boon. I would love to play fetch land and have the option of end of turn fetch for a Dryad Arbor available, but unfortunately we can't do that. So we're just gonna play this and hit for 8, and now a lot, like literally any enchantment would make us be able to win next turn. We have 9 damage on board right now, so we could just beat the like outrace the verdicts. That'd be pretty sweet. There's a Field of Ruin. They can kill our Dryad Arbor, but don't care too much about that. So we're just hoping to draw like any enchantment. Daybreak Cornet. Okay, good enough. So we'll play this. Fairly unlikely to work. They could just have a counter spell or something, but this does present lethal on turn 4, so that's pretty sweet. All right, that's how you get it done. Didn't have too many difficult decisions there, but we just ran over them, so that happens sometimes. They are gonna know what we're up against and have some answers here, so that's I think this will get a bit harder now. So I don't think I'm particularly interested in these 2 Path to Exiles, but I do like the idea of some Gaddock Teagues. And then the only other question is if we want these seals. It's not good against that many things they could have, so probably not. Yeah, I think we should probably just run it like this. I mean, Spirit Link is not very exciting. Seal of Primordium is great if they have something like Ruined Halo. That card is very hard for us to deal with. And I just think Spirit Link is basically a brick, so I think I am going to bring this in preemptively, even though we don't know that it's going to be good. And yeah, like we just have nothing else really that does much. I think Spirit Link is like pretty much just a dead draw, so is Path. So yeah, we'll do this, and I mean, yeah, hopefully we can have another game like that. That definitely felt pretty smooth. All right, reveal our Lurrus. In the end, it actually might have been better to have the all the glitters instead of the Keen Sense. Even though we would have drawn some cards, like it just would have been like we were able to be so fast there. All right, there's a bit more creatures than I want in my openers, but I think like that's more okay in a control matchup that's not generally just about pure racing. So we are going to keep it. We'll see about the core Spirit Dancers if we want to save them until like ideally we can cast Spider Umbra after we have a core Spirit Dancer down. Drawing a basic plains there was quite bad. They're very likely to path one of these, so and they have Field of Ruins as well. So yeah, basic land was almost certainly the worst draw on the deck. So we'll see what we draw here. Oh man, this is rough. I'm gonna just fetch out a land because we have another fetch land for our Dryad Arbor, and we just really don't want to draw more lands. This deck is not one that can deal with Mana Flood very effectively. So we're gonna attack for 1. They could just play Snapcaster Mage and ambush this. So if we didn't have a bunch more creatures, this would be bad. But looks like you don't have it, and I do think like in this situation when we have potentially 3 more creatures, it's fine. Although I really don't want to use Dryad Arbor as my creature since they do have the Field of Ruins. They can counterspell this if they want to. If they don't, next turn we can go second Spirit Dancer plus Spider Umbra. Okay, they remaned that. That's a bit annoying. Another island, okay. Wow, Spirit Dancer deck. So we will play this here since we do want to use our mana efficiently, and like with this hand, we're going to be wanting to have maximum mana every turn. Spell Queller, huh? Okay, that's fine. Well, actually, that makes me feel a little bit worse about all our shocking, but I think that's fine. We're just going to pass. No use in putting Spider Umbra here because we can't attack either way or block profitably. And next turn we can just go for a Spirit Dancer. Okay, so against this, I was assuming they were just on like normal blue-eye control, but they're on more of the tempo build, so we're going to want to bring in some paths potentially. It's not like a great card, but at least it does something. So they can bounce their own Spell Queller if they want to, but then they will lose their Teferi. And we won't get to cast the Core Spirit Dancer because of the way that works. Okay, they don't go for that line. Best draw would be another 1-mana Aura. Sweet, perfect. So I'm just going to go Plains, Core Spirit Dancer. And then we can turn this into a 3-2, so they trade if they go for the block. And, well, they'll really just trade with the Spider Umbra. So, Spider Umbra, draw a card. Ooh, Rancor is way better than Griff Spoon here. So we draw another card. We're gonna, even though like this would get bigger if we put stuff on it, this is attacking this turn, and it's much harder for them to interact with. So we definitely want to level up the glade cover and not the core Spirit Dancer here. And now we'll attack the Teferi. Either way, Teferi will live, but like we're gonna get through for some trample damage no matter what. And if we just kill this, that's fine as well. We'll see if they go for the block. They do. So they kill our Spider Umbra. If they have Supreme Verdict now, they will get to sweep our board. But against this deck, I would be a bit surprised to see Supreme Verdict. Like if they're playing their own Spell Quellers. So we cannot cast this because of Teferi, so they get their little value there, but that's still fine. We have a big board that they have to deal with, and we can draw a bunch of cards next turn. Although their life total is at 19, and they have a lot of cards in hand, so we'll see. There's a field, so our Dryad Arbor will die if we go for that. This card is sort of sweet, though. I really underestimated how easy it would be to draw a bunch of cards with that. Like, we just drew 2 cards immediately. And even if they kill it, we still got sweet value. Oh, wow. So that's just super, super bad ball way of a Spirit Dancer in play. Unless they have a way to, like, if they have a path or something here, that would make sense. But even so, we have another Spirit Dancer. Oh, they do have a Verdict. Interesting. Well, we can just play Spirit Dancer here and go off. So, land. We have 3 1-mana Aura, so I'm just going to fetch Shock. This is putting our life total pretty low. I guess we could just get a Forest. But I think we can race. We can definitely race if that's what it comes down to. So I think I'm just going to fetch Shock. And, like, they sort of have to path this core Spirit Dancer. So we cast this. Ideally looking for something that gives it Totem Armor. So we draw a card. I will cast Griffspoon. We just want to invest auras that are like less bad if they can kill it. Since it's already going to be ridiculously huge. Okay. Alright, at this point I'll put 1 Ethereal Armor on this. We draw another card. Alright, well, we don't have another creature, so they're pretty likely to be able to deal with this, but if they can't kill this right now, like, they can't Teferi bounce it. And it's easily going to be lethal next turn when we put more enchantments on it. We also can get Lurrus back, but, so we aren't totally out of threats, but we would need a land for that. But if they path this, we could go, like, just play Lurrus. Okay, they do path it. Good thing we fetched the way we did. We grab a forest. So best draw would be just any creature because, like, we could just immediately go to town with that. But if we draw like another land or something, we can still play Lurrus. Oh, all right. They found the line. So I thought about putting a second plains in. I did see one list that had 2 plains here, and in this situation that would have been a big help. So that's something to note. Oh, perfect. So we cast our Bogle. And I think I'm just gonna play 1 Rancor and then put the Lurrus into the hand. This is gonna be like I don't want to just like go all in and then get blown out by a sweeper, and we can make this huge next turn if we want to. Like if they don't deal with this, we can make it huge next turn, and if they do deal with it, putting Lurrus in the hand means we have a good follow up. So they can kill us in 3 hits with Colonnade, but I'm not too worried about that. I think if that becomes their plan, we can race that. I would like to get this Teferi off the board, though, ideally, because instant speed Verdict is more annoying by a lot. But if they just pass and hold everything up, or are they going for another field? Okay, sure. I think we'll put 1 more Rancor on this and then send it. Oh, they're playing something now. Oh, please don't be a Verdict. Kitchen Finks. Okay, that's a pretty weak play here. Oh, that was an amazing draw. So we will cast Hyena Umbra first. And now I think we're just going to cast an Ethereal Armor. Well, if we put a Rancor on this, it already kills this. So I guess we should just do that. Right? They can block, prevent 2. This Teferi will still die. I guess we could just go for them. Maybe that actually makes more sense. So we can put Ethereal Armor here. So if we put another Ethereal Armor here, it would add 5, 6 power. I think we're just going to put a Keen Sense on it. And just hit them. Like, sure, they can bounce one of these enchantments, but that just really doesn't do much. And because of the Hyena Umbra, we're insulated against Supreme Verdict. So I really don't see how this can go poorly for us. And then we should be able to kill them next turn. We're also going to get to draw a card. They just chump block. Okay. We have trample, so we still hit them for a bunch. We will draw a card. Daybreak Coronet. Wow, this is a huge creature. So yeah, we can beat most things. I mean, if they ephemerate, oh, that's just bad. I mean, that's fine, but like that's just a weak. I don't think that this sort of build is playable personally. Like you can play a mid-range build for sure, and that can be good, but like ephemerate is way too bad here. You need to be playing a build with like Stoneforge Mystics and what seek or no. Watch It for Tomorrow, I think. The 2/1 that has Hideaway and lets you draw a card out of the top 4. That with Ephemerate is pretty sweet, but Kitchen Finks with Ephemerate is just not that strong. Oh, okay. I did forget about this. That was stupid. So they bounce this. Now they can Verdict and kill this, but that's still fine because we have Lurrus. We can rebuild very quickly. Okay, yeah, perfect. Snap Verdict. I mean, not ideal, but like they do that. But now we can just play Lurrus plus Spider Umbra from the graveyard, most likely. We get our 2 Rancors back. They get a Kitchen Finks, but that'll just be very small. I think we should be okay. Another Spider Umbra. I mean, I kind of wanted to land there, but this is fine. Like all of the Umbras we played there were fine. Like these both came back. Keen Sense cantripped and Ethereal Umbra. Like yeah, we did lose it, but we drew a million cards off of it. Ooh, they have a Force of Negation for this Spider Umbra. If they kill this Lurrus, we actually are in bad shape because we have a lot of cards in hand, but none of them do anything if we don't have a creature. So hopefully we either draw a creature or they can't deal with this. If they had like to land to fairy, bounce the Umbra, another Verdict, that would be bad. That's step 1, but it's the least scary step. Also, this can block Colonnade if we somehow wanted to. They attack. We're just going to take this. We could block, and on board it looks nice, but if they then go to Fairy bounce this, then our Lurrus would die, and that would suck, so not going to block here. Also, this doesn't make it so Colonnade is a 2-turn clock. 9 and, like, 11 and 9 are very similar here, but 11 and 8 would be pretty different, so something to be aware of. I'm guessing they have a Teferi in their hand, though. Wall of Omens, sure, that's not too much of a problem. We can give this trample. Alright, good thing we took the line we did. We would have gotten rocked if we hadn't. So they bounce our Lurrus. Gaddock Teague. Okay, it's getting to be pretty annoying that we haven't drawn any lands. We're just going to cast this. Hopefully they don't have a counter. Okay, good. Play our Umbra. And pass. And now, yeah, I mean, we can just absolutely go off next turn. Oh, are they going to counter this and then have a board sweeper? Oh. Well, we go to discard and pitch. I guess just Hyena Umbra. I think. No, we'll pitch a Spider Umbra. Just have a diversity of Umbras. We have so many spells in hand. So they plus. Hopefully they don't have another Verdict. What we can do is cast Gaddock Teague, and if they do have a Verdict, they have to do it in response. Yeah, I think I am gonna. Well, yeah, I don't even care that much about casting something from our graveyard when we have such a stacked hand. I'm gonna start with the Teague. So this turns off both Cryptic and Supreme Verdict. Okay, so they cast a Spell Queller. That's a bit annoying. Now we go Spider Umbra on this. This is bad though. The fact that they were able to double field and take us off of 2 lands is really the difference maker in this game. If we had another basic, I think we would be in pretty good shape. So they force the negation that. Then we'll cast another Spider Ember from our hand. And now this can block their creatures fairly effectively. And at this point, my life total is low enough that I will just block even if I'm worried about it dying. We have another creature in hand, and yeah, we just have so much action. They only have one card, or two cards now, but like they had a blind draw and then one other card, so that's pretty sweet. If they attack with anything, we'll block. I guess it makes sense that we haven't drawn more lands. We've already seen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 10 left in our deck. We've actually seen like a pretty much exactly proportioned amount. So they do attack with both. I think I'm gonna just kill a Kitchen Finks here. I don't like. I would rather kill this Teferi before like they get before we kill their spell queller. So we'll block here. If they bounce our Spider Ember, that's fine. I'm definitely putting this on the bottom. So these trade now. We gain 3 life, so net we gain 1. But then we can play Glade Cover Scout, and we can't give a reach, annoyingly. So that could be awkward. We will play Spider Ember here. Or Hyena Umbra. And then I think just double Rancor. They have 1 card, so if it's like a counterspell, the one we care the most about is definitely the Daybreak Coronet. So I could imagine this is what happens here. If they don't have a counterspell, we can just win because their plan is to just race us. They can hit us for 6 in the air, but Daybreak Coronet will absolutely win that race. So, I mean, we also can return Griftspoon to give this flying in a way that they can't counter. I guess they could also Teferi bounce the Hyena Umbra and then play another Verdict. We'll see what they do here. So, okay, they're just hitting for 2. So they do have lethal next turn. Hopefully one of their last cards isn't a counterspell. They plus the Teferi, okay. We draw a land. I just don't think it's a winning line to give this flying and play defense here. So, like, we could lose from this if they have a counterspell for this Daybreak Coronet, but I think we have to go for it. Like, the status quo here is us losing, so we have to do something to alter that. Don't have the counterspell. We can play around Mana Leak here and also Remand. Same with Snapcaster Mage. Mystical Dispute. That is a weird card for them to be playing. Get our last fetchable land that can tap for mana immediately. If they have a second Mystical Dispute, they got us. But yeah, I guess they just had a lot of cards to take out, maybe. Alright, they got us. Tight game, but yeah, they were just able to exploit a mana advantage a little bit too much, but now we're in the play. I think this should be pretty good for us. Yeah, I like our odds here a lot. Do we want paths? I think I'd rather path than Spirit Link. I don't think we want the seal. I think we're just gonna do it like this. I really don't want to go overboard on the paths. I guess Spirit Mantle is maybe not great. Yeah, I guess I'll do this. I don't want to just die to their things. I mean, we can't really path Colonnade if they have a Teferi in play, and I don't think we want to like be really prioritizing a Teferi, but it can be nice to path the Spell Queller. It is sort of weird that that game sort of came down to them out-tempoing us, though. Like, we had more action at the end of the game, and they had a lot more life. And, like, if we had gotten another turn or two, we would have won, I think. So, that's really not the roles that I was expecting in this matchup. But their deck was a lot more tempo than I thought it was going to be. I do think we also easily win that game if we're playing third basic. Or if we didn't draw one of our basics naturally. Alright, we get to be on the play here. Reveal our Luris. No 1-drop, but I'm going to keep this. I think this is good enough. They really have to deal with these core spirit dancers. If they pass the first one, the second one can give us like basically guaranteed value. They're on mold 5. Wow, 4. Wow. I guess if they have like spell snares, that could be bad. But even so, like it's gonna be hard for them on mold 4. So we play Temple Garden tapped and pass the turn. Flooded Strand pass. Okay, drawing numbers there is good. I mean, we already have one, but 2 Umbras is good too. We cast this. Hopefully, it resolves. I mean, if they path it again, that's just fine. Like we would love to land here with this hand. They fetch it tapped. Okay. Island Wall of Omens. Sweet. So now we can put double Umbra on this, and I get. Well, actually, they can't always just path it. We'll definitely put at least 1 Umbra on it. Actually, no. Here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna shock, play a second Core Spirit Dancer, and then draw 2 cards. I think. Yeah, they can't Wrath next turn. So, like, this doesn't mean we don't have any backup creatures right now, but we're just going to draw so many cards this way. I guess maybe, yeah, we probably should have just. Nice. Good to draw a creature there. We probably should have actually played a Griff Spoon. Just, well, yeah, because they can't play a Verdict this turn anyways, and that way we could get in a hit there for 3. So we lost 3 points of damage that we should have had. That was a misplay that we made, and we'll see if it ends up mattering. Another Wall of Omens is exactly the sort of thing we wanted to see. We're going to draw a million cards this turn. Holy moly, we're going to draw cards. I'm just going to put all of these things on 1 Core Spirit Dancer. It's worse against Path, but it means we get a massive hit in this turn, which I do think has a lot of value. So Core Spirit Dancer here. Yes. Yes. Keen Sense here. Yes. Yes. And now I think I'm actually just going to play a Daybreak Cornet, because I think like adding a bunch of life in 1 turn is really good. So we'll do this. Draw 2 cards. We're going to have to discard a hand size, but that's okay. So hidden for 15 in the air, or 13, gain 13. And now for what we discard a hand size, I think I'm leaning slightly toward the Dryad Arbor. I don't really want a land that's oh, we have to discard 2 cards. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think we're going to discard a Dryad Arbor, and we definitely want our creatures. I do think we want the land, probably. Actually, maybe we just pitch the land. Yeah, I'll just pitch the land. So Verdict doesn't do it, because this has Totem Armor. If they have Path, Snap, Path, they can deal with both of these. Okay, Jace, bounce the Core Spirit Dancer. That should not be enough. We can just make this Core Spirit Dancer way more than big enough with a trample. So Rancor here. Draw a card. Spider Umber here. They can prevent 8 damage, but I think that should be fine. Ethereal Armor. So we need to get this up to 14 power. So yeah, we should be able to do that with anything. We could also just path one of their things, but I'll just put another Umbra on this. And actually, just for fun, I'm just going to make it even bigger. Alright, sweet. So, took down Blue Eye Control in game 1. Granted, in game 3, they did mold 4, so that wasn't too much of a game. And honestly, the only game that actually had any back and forth, they won. So maybe I could have won that game if I played right. But one of the reasons to play this deck is you get a lot of free wins. Most decks I play really, really don't get free wins. And in general, I think it's sort of more fun to really have to work for them. But there's something to be said for just like jamming your hand and winning really easily. And that's pretty much what we did in 2 of those 3 games. So hopefully we can have it some more of this league and get a nice result. Unfortunately, Andro93 has defeated us in the die roll, so we will be going second. And we will also be mulliganing. We have no creatures, so pretty easy choice here. No creatures and only one land. Alright, this sounds great. So I think we definitely want to keep both lands. We want to keep our creature for sure. I want to keep the Umbra. I think we're going to put back all that glitters. It is good, but it's just a little bit expensive, and it doesn't, like... I think it's better to be able to give it evasion. Well, I guess we could keep the all the glitters over Griffspoon, maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We already have sort of evasion from Rancor. Okay, so this is bad. They could just play Chalice of the Void next turn, and that would be very unfortunate. But luckily, we do have 2 auras that we can play through that, so we really want to get these 2 down next turn because we're scared that we might not be able to for long. Um, but yeah, if they just go Chalice here, it will be an uphill battle for us. Oh wow, Blast Zone 2. Okay, this is a disaster. Yeah, I think we are just dead here. Like, we can't go all like our only protection from Blast Zone is Totem Armor, but this Chalice just turned off all the Totem Armor. So I guess our only out is to try and race, maybe. But that just definitely won't work. um yeah, this is just an unwinnable game here. Like I guess we'll just put all the glitters on this, but there's no way that we can win because they can just blast there. And like, I guess if they just brick on their land for a long time and we draw like running all the glitters, that's like our out. But that's just not a winning strategy. All right, they have. I think I'm just gonna concede. Like they have 2 blast zones. There's like we just can never beat double blast zone. Like in this situation, like yeah, that's just pretty brutal. This deck is like built to beat 1 mana cards. That's just rough. Blast zone is a devastating card against this deck. If that's a big part of the metagame, which it sort of is, then you probably shouldn't play this deck. We'll bring in these seals. That's really it. I mean, like, oh, Chalice is just such a big problem. Path is okay, but it does get shut down by Chalice, and it's still not great. Like, okay, what do we cut here? I think I'll cut a Spirit. Like, I want to cut some 1 mana cards. I'm definitely going to keep all of these. Um, let's see. I feel like the totem armors are a bit less important, maybe. Although I guess they are good against Blast Zone. I'll trim a Spider Umbra. Rancor is just great. I guess we can trim the Keen Senses and like bring in a path and maybe cut 1 more Umbra for 1 more path. Yeah, we'll do this. In general, my problem with decks like this is it's hard to make your bad matchups any better. Like Blast Zone is just so devastating. I mean, I guess we could play like Pithing Needle type cards, but that's just not really where this deck wants to be. All right, good hand. I mean, it's awkward to have a basic force in hand when we have Daybreak Coronet, but I still think we're supposed to keep this, so we will. And I'm just gonna lead on basic force here. We're not gonna have Coronet on turn 2 either way. We need to draw land no matter what for that. And so next turn we can go Griffspoon plus Slippery Bogle. And if we draw land, like, I mean, I guess, yeah, if they have Blast Zone, we still just lose, but hopefully they just have Tron lands. Okay, drawing another creature there is bad. We'll fetch a Temple Garden, Shock, cast Griffspoon on this, cast another Elf, hit for 2. And now most draws in our deck are pretty good here. I guess another Coronet would be annoying, but like a land that gives us Coronet would be sweet, and every single land in the deck would do that at this point except for Dryad Arbor. Do they have the chalice here? They do. Okay. Bummer. All right, so we cast our seal, hit for 3, and pass. Now, if we draw land, next turn we can go Rancor plus Daybreak Cornet, and that's pretty sweet. And then just concede to their blast zone that they're about to play. So this happens. They'll probably take our Cornet. Interesting. They went for the Rancor. Okay, so they're hoping we don't hit land. Well, so we'll blow up your chalice. Cast this Umbra. And this is just not enough. Like, it's a 3. It's like a Delver, and we spent 3 cards on it. So we just hit. Yeah, I don't think blocking does anything. And I don't think I'm going to play the other Bogle. I want to be able to, like, have some semblance of hope if they have the Blast Zone. And also just, like, getting an extra 1/1 down doesn't really do anything. But, like, yeah, I mean, if they don't have a Blast Zone and we draw a land, we can make this a huge creature. And it'll kill them in 2 turns. Hit for 4, we're just going to take it. See if they have another chalice. They don't. Oh, chalice for 2. Interesting. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think we can potentially race. Oh, that sucks. All right, well, if that's the situation, we're definitely casting this and just hitting for 4 on the ground. Yeah, drawing one of our few 2 drops right after they cast a chalice for 2 is not a good feeling. But, I mean, yeah, we could still win this. We have some draws that would just make us win on the spot. They have Tron now, so that's scary. Do they have All Is Dust? Oh, man. That's pretty bad. Yeah, we are not in a very good position here. I think we're just chumping here. I mean, we have a flyer, so really, really hoping to draw a 1-mana aura. Perfect. All right, so play this. So all this can do is make 2/2s. We don't care about that. So they're dead in 1 more turn if they can't kill us. So hit them for 4. Leave this back to block. And we can even beat a Reality Smasher, I think. Yeah, we can just chump this and take 10. So they have to find a way to deal with this turn. Blast Zone still does it, but I can't really think of anything else that does. I don't think they have any flyers in their deck. This Ugin, I'm sort of surprised they're even playing this. This just seems super bad against us. I guess. Oh wait, no. I forgot that was a -3. So they can destroy one of our Umbras, which means we just have to top deck another one. I'm pretty sure that's just what this comes down to. If we top deck any 1-mana aura, we win, and if we top deck anything else, we lose. Most likely. I mean, we could maybe eke out another attack if they do just minus and kill the Griff Spoon. Actually, wait, yeah, then we wouldn't have evasion. Then we're just dead. So hope they don't kill the Griff Spoon. Bummer. I shouldn't have told them the idea. If we draw a Rancor, we could still win. I think I am just going to block here. I don't think this will do better than preventing 4 damage. So hopefully we can draw another Griff Spoon. It's annoying that we have so few lands. So Griff Spoon wins it here. Let's see it. That's okay, actually. This is just so annoying. Yeah. I mean, we're pretty dead here. We can path the Thought here to draw a card. We could path Matter Reshaper and get in a hit with this, but that just doesn't really advance our game plan. They can just keep on making dudes every turn. I think we actually have to path the Thought here and just find 2 lands so that we can give this flying again. So we draw a card. I don't care about giving them the waste. They have a lot of mana. We really need lands. That's a bummer. I mean, I'll play it, but I'm not even sure we want to attack. Like, both of these, they just want to die. So, yeah, we're just going to pass. We need to find a way to give evasion. Spirit, oh no, can't cast Spirit Mantle. So Griff Spoon would win, or just drawing 2 lands. Thought-Knot Seer is actually actively good for us, I think. it can't attack, and we can, like, these cards are both complete bricks, and now Path is a cantrip. We'll see if they attack. They probably should. Like, they just need to kill us before we get 2 lands. Man, it's just so frustrating to be on 2 lands at this stage in the game. I hate playing decks that don't have a lot of lands. Also, still, at any point, we scoop to a Blast Zone, so we need to draw 2 lands before they draw Blast Zone. Or 1 Griff Spoon. Come on, last Griff Spoon. We have 1 in the deck. They attack with just this. That'd be interesting. I think I'm just going to take it here, actually. I'm scared of what this card could be. Okay, that's good. That's very good. So we'll grab Lurrus and pass. And now if we draw 1 more land, I guess they could minus Ugin to kill one of these things, but that doesn't matter. We still would have lethal. So we just need to draw 1 land this turn. Come on, deck. Give us a land. We have 4 down, so we have 15 lands out of 44 in our deck. So it's a bit over a third chance. Not great odds, but it could happen. And actually, even if they don't kill us this turn, we can play Lurrus, and then the turn after we can just play Griff Spoon from the graveyard. So we're in this thing. Okay, I'm least scared of this, I think. And it also prevents the most damage. Well, I guess this is basically... This is a random card. They know what these are. I think that this card is good. Karn the Great Creator. Oh, that sucks. We just lose now, right? Because they can just get... Microsynth Lattice. Oh, wait, no, that card's banned. But they have a lot of scary things they can get here. But, yeah, this will probably kill us. That's a real bummer that they revealed that. We'll see what they get. I guess they could just get Liquid Metal Coating and shut down one of our lands, and then we're just all in on top decking Griff Spoon. Oh, Sundering Titan. Alright, well, still, we have exactly 1 draw that wins here. We have to hit Griff Spoon this turn. So we have a 1 in 44 chance. Oh. Never mind, we're just dead. Bummer. Alright, well, that just feels like an absolutely unwinnable matchup, frankly. Like, multiple main deck Blast Zones and Chalice of the Void is just so rough. Yeah, it's early, but I don't think this is really a deck you should be playing in that game right now. But we'll see. I find it very frustrating to play decks that don't really present you with very many real choices. Like, this deck, you sort of just do one thing, and either you win easily or you don't really have any, like, options that matter. And there's not my favorite kind of deck to play, but hopefully this is one of the games where we win easily. Easy mulligan here. We have, like, this is just a trash hand. Yeah, we need to be more explosive than that. Okay, this hand is quite good, actually. We can turn 2, play Armor plus Keen Sense, and hit for 3 and draw a card. So we'll put back one of our lands, I think. Probably just Misty Rainforest. Alright, so Bogle time. Slippery boy. Funny that this is a beast. I think of beast as being stronger than 1/1, but not this one. Oh no. Well, we'll see what this is. Another Core Spirit Dancer. I think I would rather just get in. Well, actually, you know what? I am just going to play Core Spirit Dancer here. I think we have a really, really good next turn lined up, potentially. And also, we might just want to put everything on the Core Spirit Dancer. Like, this isn't a deck. They're not going to have Path to Exile or Fatal Push or anything like that. So, if we just make a massive Core Spirit Dancer, that might be enough. It's also way better against Blast Zone. Okay, second Tron land. Alright, so we will start with Ethereal Armor on the Core Spirit Dancer. Draw a card. I think I'm going to put... I think we're just going to go Ethereal Armor again, just have a fast clock. I would love to draw a land, though, so we could play Keen Sense as well. Okay, that's a bummer. Hit for 9. And now next turn, we still don't have any form of evasion. They could play Karn and minus on this. Hopefully this is Tron. If they do play Karn... Okay, Worm Coil Engine. Interesting. So this has first strike. So they're going to have to chump block. Rancor. Spirit Mantle. Hey. I mean, yeah, this is like... this is sweet. Like, we crushed them, so that's cool. But, like, we didn't do anything smart. Like, we had no relevant choices to make. We just played our cards. But our cards crushed them, so you're rocked, Tron. You suck. All right. Pretty sweet. So, hopefully we can keep that going. So, we're playing Tron. I like Gaddock Teague here. I like Stony Silence, and I wish I had more Stonies. Seal is not great, I think. Another matchup where we don't really want Spirit Link. This is for the prowess matchup. Um, hmm. I like the Griff Spoons. I don't really feel like we need Spider Ember too much. Although I guess it is okay against Oblivion Stone. But Oblivion Stone blows up all of our things already, so it's already pretty bad for us. Path is good against Worm Coil, but I actually think I'm just going to cut it anyway. I don't think Worm Coil is like that important here. Our cards can just get bigger than that pretty easily or just dodge it. So I think I'm just going to cut down on these. Hyena Umbra is much better against Worm Coil than Spider Umbra. And then these are good against Oblivion Stone in a lot of circumstances. I guess they're not, I mean, they can sometimes hit other things. They're not amazing. So maybe I just want two. We can just do this and then play like, there's a lot of cards that I really don't want to draw two of. Like one Path I'm okay with drawing. One Seal is okay. And then I guess for our last card we can just play one more Spider Umbra. Alright, let's see a perfect 7-card hand. This does seem like a great matchup for the core Spirit Dancer. Although I guess they do have, against normal Tron, they do have some answers to it. Well, no creatures, so, I mean, like, we could fetch a Dryad Arbor, but this is just, like, still, it's too slow. We only have one white source, like, it's, yeah, we can do better. Alright, this hand's pretty great. So, we will keep and put back, I think all the glitter is just because it's too expensive. We already have a 2-drop that we want more. Opponent has also mulliganed. They're down to 4. Wow. But Tron is like the deck that can mulligan to 4 and crush you still. Like, if they just have 3 Tron lands and then rip an Ugin, we still just get crushed. But yeah, mulliganing to 3 is a little rough, obviously, for the opponent. No turn 1 play once again. I'm just going to shock. We're going to be using our mana all of our turns, and this leaves us the maximum number of options for colorless or for colored sources. And so I think once again we're just going to play Core Spirit Dancer on turn 2. Sealed Primordium would be a brutal draw here. I mean, like, really good. That's what we want. Okay. So, alright, I'll just go Forest Spirit Dancer. That seems fine. And the next turn we can make the Spirit Dancer massive and have a trample. So they have Tron. Like, that's pretty sweet for them. If they have an Ugin, we're going to die. Which is pretty wild that we could lose on a mulligan against a mulligan to 3. And you still, ooh, that is probably going to end the game. I guess they could still play Oblivion Stone, so that would be awkward. But I'm going to do this still. They're going to have fewer Oblivion Stones than, like, big things that we can't beat. So we'll do this, and then play Rancor, draw a card. I guess I probably should have played Rancor first. It's possible we could kill him, I think. If we drew another Ethereal Armor, then that would be plus 6 from the Spirit Dancer ability, 6 from the 2 Ethereal Armors is 12, 13, 14, 15. So we wouldn't quite have lethal, but that would be better than just playing a Teague here, I think. But we did not draw another thing like that. So we hit for 5. If they do have Oblivion Stone, that's their only real answer here. We can just get Luris, so we're still not dead. But if they don't have Oblivion Stone, we definitely have lethal this turn. Ooh, so they can blow up our Gladecover Scout, but that's not as bad here as it would normally be. Oh. You're dead then, son. If that's your play, I mean, they could have something else. A map, sure. But we should be able to kill them, right? Like, well, let's see. Ethereal Armor adds 4 power immediately. That would make us have 11. So we need to draw 1 aura in our top 2 draws. Okay, well, that's bad. I'm going to fetch the Thin Out of Land. Because this is like a really important draw step. And I am just going to, I guess, yeah. I think I'm still putting it on the Core Spirit Dancer just because it adds that much more power. Like, yeah, it won't come back if they do kill us, but I just want to get in for a lot of damage here. We can also put Ranker on the Glade Cover Scout after it comes back. Okay, nice. We drew what we had to draw. All right, sweet. 2-1. Core Spirit Dancer is a hell of a card. I really underestimated that card. I sort of thought they, like, I always love it when my opponent plays that with blue-eye control because, like, I have a million paths and now they just have a target. But against a lot of decks, just making a massive thing that draws a bunch of cards is really good. So I think I saw that through blue-eye colored lenses and didn't appreciate his full power. Sweet. Sorry, Sven, Speeder Sven, but we will be on the play. We will reveal our Luris. And we will keep this. Ooh, double path is not what we want. But I still think we're going to keep it. Having a Bogle on turn 1 is the most important thing. We have a lot of live draws, and we can build up towards Luris and stuff. But yeah, this is like, I'm only playing 2 paths because I really don't want to draw multiples, so it sucks that despite my best efforts, we still have done that. But the top of our deck is live here. Like, any enchantment here is just awesome since we already have the evasion. We would love for this to be a okay, Black Rat is good. We would much rather, so if they're, alright, I mean, they can take our Griff Spoon, I guess, but, like, our paths are actually going to be pretty good cards in this matchup, and, like, we're low on action right now, but we do still have Luris. So they take our Griff Spoon, hopefully we draw an enchantment. Ooh, alright, I'll just play that. Fairly likely that it'll die, but, I still think it's better to cast it than to just pass and do nothing. If we could put Luris into our hand, we would have done that. But also, like, we have Luris in addition to this, so we have, like, a couple threats that their removal will need to hit. I guess we could have saved this until it's bolt proof, but I still think I like just using my mana here. Cabal Therapist. Double Cabal Therapist. Wow, so they can just take out our paths, I guess. Would I rather put Luris in my hand or path these things? I just don't even think I care that much. I really wish we'd drawn an enchantment there for sure. That's one thing. I mean, it's just a 2-for-1, but it's also like Path to Exile is a 2-for-1 inherently. Like if we just give them a land, that's also 2-for-1. So I think I guess they could also just grab our Luris though. They could just attack both of these to kill Luris and other things. So we're gonna start by attacking for 1. Really would have liked to draw an enchantment there. This could have been a big turn if we could string a couple enchantments together, but instead we just have nothing. Okay, they double block. So the reason I'm doing this is now if we get Luris, they can't take out our entire hand. So I'm just gonna let this happen. We'll trade with 1, and then we'll grab Luris. And if they get rid of Luris, that's okay. Are they just gonna take? Yeah, dang it. I was really hoping they would do that. These things are really, really good here, actually. All right, so I think we're going to pass and path 1 of these in their upkeep. This is just annoying, though. I mean, yeah, their draw. This is a sweet draw. Like Cabal Therapist is really good when you just play an Inquisition and your opponent has multiples. So this path resolves. They can take out our second path if they want to, but we're not going to cast it here. They do have basic to get. So we'll see if they sack this to deal with our other path. They do. Well, we have nothing. Our opponent has no board. And, like, if they don't kill this, we could make something out of nothing very quickly. But it is just a real bummer to have only drawn 1 enchantment and then have them immediately discard it on turn 1. Dreadhorde Arcanist, so that's fine. Inquisition is not good here. Fatal Push, Cling to Dust. Oh, come on. Okay, oh, brutal. I'm like borderline in scoop territory here. I mean, I think Putting Lurrus into our hand just does nothing because they can immediately Inquisition it. But I think we actually still do it because otherwise they can just get like just draw a card for free. Like they're getting value either way, and we're not gonna like we're not anywhere near being able to play like we don't. I just don't think we want to wait till 6 mana. What we're hoping is they just attack and then we draw like a bunch of enchantments in a row. But like they've really dismantled us here. Yeah, I mean, we take this all. I guess we can block the Dreadhorde Arcanist with our Core Spear Dancer, but yeah, I'm like very close to conceding. Because also like it's so unlikely they don't have a single instant speed removal spell to hit our Core Spear Dancer. If they have just lands in hand, maybe we have a chance. Another Arcanist. Okay, so we could go off here. That's the start. So I think I'm just gonna put everything on this Core Spear Dancer and hope that we just like can draw running enchantments. Well, that plan didn't really work. I think we're just supposed to pass. Like, attacking for 3 just doesn't accomplish that much here. We're on the defense, I think. Like, and now that we have this Spider Umbra, like, our Core Spirit Dancer is pretty likely to live. They can attack with everything, cling to dust something to trigger prowess. Oh, I mean, yeah, this is bad. This is very bad. In terms of sideboarding, I mean, paths just looked so bad here. Like, if these paths were anything other than paths, we definitely could have won, I think. I guess, we definitely went the ley lines. And maybe paths. And we can cut, we'll see. We'll take a look at the deck list, but this is not good. Okay, Cycle on Earth, that's fine. From your graveyard, it'd be brutal if they could reanimate our own Lurrus. Okay, they just cast that, that's definitely fine. Lightning Bolt or Spirit Dancer. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, oh, they can kill our Spirit Dancer here because they can flashback the Bolt. Yeah, they can flashback Bolt and Cling to Dust. And make these both 4-power creatures. Wow, so this is going to be a big hit. Luckily, our Spirit Dancer will come back. So our out, again, is just drawing like 5 1-mana enchantments in a row, pretty much. Wait, oh, what? Oh, okay, yeah. So they get to bring back their Cabal Therapist. They get to Bolt. We'll see what they target. Us. Wow, that is aggressive. So we have to kill them this turn. I don't think we can untap again. So I think we're just going to chump block one of these things. I guess we can block with Core Spirit Dancer for free. Block here, and just take this 5. And then just really hope that we can make this Spirit Dancer massive. Alright, deck, give us the goods. Alright, that's a perfect start. Come on, deck. Bummer. Alright, we die. That's too bad. Such a promising start, but that was like, we really did not draw many enchantments there. Lots of lands and lots of paths, and that's really not what you want here. So, bringing in these. And then these are on the table. Rest in Peace is not a card we want here, I think. We'll cut the Keen Senses. Spear Mantle, I think, is just a bit slow. We're more interested in lifelink and stuff like that. And then we could maybe trim a Spider Umbra and like, I do want some paths, but again, just drawing multiples was so bad there. I think we're more about our own proactive plan, so I'm not going to bring more paths. Like, we just want to do our own thing and have it be better than what they're doing. We're not really, like, this deck can't really be built to be very interactive. Okay, yeah, we'll keep this. It has a lot of, I guess it's a little bit soft to Thoughtseize. If they Thoughtseize one of these things, that's bad. But, like, these are both just really good cards in the matchup, so, if we draw, like, any other enchantment, then we can really go off here. Also, opponent's on the mold of 5. So we cast our Bogle. Really, really hope they don't have a way to deal with one of the... I guess we just don't want them to have any discard at all. Blackleaf Cliffs and Thoughtseize. Alright, so we'll see which one of these they take. Probably Coronet. Even though if they take the Spirit Link, we can't cast the Coronet for a while. Oh, that's very risky. They're banking on us bricking, which we absolutely did. Oh my gosh, was that a bad draw. Wow, well, they got max rewarded for taking our Spirit Link. That sucks. Alright, well, we can get Lurrus next turn. Hopefully, if they have a Dreadhorde Arcanist here, we're in very bad shape. Please don't be a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Please don't be a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, Soulscar Mage we can handle. And another Thoughtseize, which we don't care about at all. One Coronet is usually enough to win if you can stick it, so I don't mind losing the second. Well, that was really, really bad. Jeez. So we will fetch a basic Plains. Our draw steps have been extremely unkind to us here. Wait, what? Oh! I'm an idiot. I forgot that... I still think we wanted to bring in the Leyline Sanctity here. I think that is worth it, but that means we don't have Lurrus available, so we cannot get that. But, like, yeah, if we draw any enchantment... Okay, so there's an Arcanist. So this is really our draw step. We have to draw any enchantment in our deck other than a Daybreak Coronet this turn. And if we do, we win. And if we don't, we lose. And which is the... Most of our deck is enchantments. Okay, perfect. So, Hyena Umbra, Daybreak Coronet, and now they should just lose to this, I think. So hit for 5. I should have mentioned that earlier. I didn't really focus on it, but yeah, the Lurrus condition is not met when you bring Leylines in. So, like if we had Leyline here, we would have just won. Like it is worth bringing in still, but there is a real cost to that. Okay, yeah, this is not how you beat a 5/5 first strike vigilant. Like, ooh, yeah, that's not an attack you want to make, my friend. What? Do you not know how this works? Okay, yeah. Daybreak Coronet just wins this game, this matchup so hard. So I think we're going to go with the same sideboard plan. We could bring in more paths on the draw. I don't hate that, although I really don't want to get to the, like, Daybreak Coronet's important, and we don't want to have our enchantment density be too low for this card to work. I could imagine maybe cutting, like, Spirit Dancers or something. Like, just because if they do have Fatal Push, it is pretty awkward. Like, maybe this. But yeah, again, I really don't want to go lower on my enchantment count. So we'll do this. Hopefully we can have Leyline in the opener. Well, I mean, this hand on paper looks great. Like, but if they Thoughtseize us on turn 1, we don't have a creature. And we could just easily get run over. I think we should ship this, even though, like, in the dark, this is a great hand. But, like, I think we really need 2 creatures or a Leyline. Because here, if they just Thoughtseize our Gladecover Cat, which is fairly likely, this hand just does nothing. So it sucks because it looks good, but I think we ship it. Well, we definitely have to go to 5 now. That's a bummer. Okay, so no creature, but we are going to keep this hand. So put back 1 Umbra, and I think just probably a second Umbra. No, we'll put back a Griff Spoon, and then reveal this Leyline, and hope the Leyline just wins on its own, pretty much. Like, we can fetch a Dryad Arbor and then protect it with one of these, so that's something. We can beat, a very Thoughtseize heavy hand, but, like, we would love to draw Bogle here, for sure. Okay, that's a good draw. Question is, I don't think we can just jam it on turn 2, because it's very likely they have a Bolt or something. So, and if we wait till turn 3, then we can really protect it. Okay, Cabal Therapist, that doesn't do anything. Right, yeah, target player. They don't have a land drop, that's good. So we crack for Temple Garden. I would love to draw another land, but I don't want to shock. Path. Well, that sucks. That was a really terrible, terrible draw. I mean, of course, Spirit Dancer would also be a terrible draw. We just really need lands. Like, out of all the cards on our sideboard, Yeah, I don't even know what we would have wanted. None of these cards look good. Okay, there's this, we're not going to path them when they in this situation, so we just take this, and then if we can draw land, we are in pretty good shape. But I'm still going to fetch here because I really don't want to have to shock. Come on, deck, give us that land. Well, that's fine, I guess. I'm just going to put. Oh, actually, we're going to pass and path our own Bogle here. I really don't want to path their creature in this situation, and a land will be very valuable for us. So we can just block one of their dudes and then path our own thing. Okay, Cling to Dust. They can draw a card. Hopefully they don't hit the land. If they miss like one more land drop, I think we can win. But if they do play land here, they could do some scary stuff. Okay, so block here. Hexproof is not Shroud, so we can target our own creatures. There's another ability called Shroud, which would not let us do this, but luckily these creatures, like, honestly, Shroud is probably a better mechanic than Hexproof, because this whole deck, like, yeah. Cards that can't be interacted with in general, I don't think are the most interesting often, but it's very good for us here. So that was good. Now we don't want any more land, so I'm going to fetch a basic forest before drawing a couple cards. And now we can make this thing huge. And if we just need to find a way to give it lifelink, and then we can't really lose. Like, we have double Umbra, so they can't Fatal Push through this. They definitely can't deal with it with damage-based removal. All right, I'm still going to just put this on first over the Rancor. Okay, so we could potentially kill them next turn. Then we could also maybe die. Although, actually, no, if they can't bolt us, then I don't think they can kill us. So next turn we can put both of these on it. Oh, Cling to Dust? Okay, sure. What, weird to do that in your own... Oh, no, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, if we play both of these, it'll get +2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it'll be 16. So if we draw any enchantment, we can win. Okay, we have a couple more draws. So Ethereal Armor. They can block, but with the Rancor giving Trample, that's not as scary. Okay, I think that should be enough. Well, actually, no, they're not going to be just dead. But, okay, that's a bit annoying. So, we can, okay, they just concede. So, we could hit for 21, and they could chump block with 2 of these, go to 1. And then we play Core Spirit Dancer as a blocker at 9. And if they can somehow get this thing huge, they could maybe win. But it's definitely an uphill battle. So, all right, 3-1. Pretty sweet start. Hopefully we can close out the 4-1. That would be really awesome. The Tron matchup, the Eldrazi Tron matchup did feel very bad with multiple main deck blast zones and Chalice of the Void. They just have great ways to interact. And, like, they don't have the type of interaction that our deck is built to beat. Like, they don't have spot removal, really. They're relying on things that can still hit our threats, and they also just have a reasonable clock, so we can't just, like, play super conservative like we can in some matchups. So that does seem like a tough matchup, but, I mean, we're good against the red decks, and fine against blue-eye control, against decks that are, like, relying on sort of more standard interaction. Alright, unfortunately, Jokers Are Wild has defeated us in the die roll. 6-5, we put up a good fight. But we will defeat them in the game. Send is sweet. We have turn 3, Daybreak Cornet, assuming they don't mess with us. We have a path, which could be good interaction. We have 2 Boggles, so they can't Thoughtseize us and completely ruin our day. And who knows, we might even be able to get a Keen Sense hit in on turn 2. Alright, Blackleaf Cliff, so I think our hand may be taking a hit here. But yeah, again, this hand is pretty good against Inquisition. I mean, I guess they could take our Keen Sense, and then Daybreak Cornet doesn't do much, but we have 2 Boggles. I guess if they take a Boggle, that's scary, because that means they may have Liliana of the Veil. But in that case, we could just fetch a Dryad Arbor to play around that, hopefully. Alright, they go with the Cornet. That's fair. I mean, that's, like, probably good for us, I think, because, like, well, that's the highest power level card. So they're not going to try and, like, pick a hole that makes our entire hand fall apart. They're just going to try and, like, beat us on semi-even footing. I am going to fetch Shock here. Like, we could just fetch a Forest, but we have a lot of white men in the deck. We have Luris, like, and we don't know. They could be, like, just a Jund deck. Like, if they're playing, if they go Swift Spear or something here, then, yeah, we regret that a little bit. Okay, no play. So they probably are just Jund. Wow, okay. Well, I think we're going to start with a Keen Sense here. I guess, yeah, we'll start with a Keen Sense. Hit for 1, draw a card. I don't think they have any way to interact with this. Okay, they do not. That's really good against thoughts or against Inquisition. And then I think with another land in hand, I'm actually just gonna fetch a forest here. I don't want to like go too low. Joan can punish your life total. So they know about the path and not these 3 cards. So these are bad. Like it sucks to have drawn multiple more creatures when we're already sort of creature flooded. Okay, just fetch a blood crypt is interesting. So they could either be, I mean, they could still be Jund or just black red. Okay, they are Jund. So Liliana the Veil is not a problem here. Seasoned Pyromancer. All right, well that makes blockers. So we need to find a way to make this Bogle big. Discard Bolt Inquisition. Okay, so I would love a Grispoon here. Wow, that sucks. That's really, really bad. Um, do we want to get Luris or just like play a bunch of creatures? This is like really, really worst case scenario to draw all these creatures. I think I'm just gonna play 2 more creatures and then fetch a tapped Hallowed Fountain. Getting Luris doesn't do too much because we can't use Luris for a bit. Um, and I want to be able to fetch this without hurting my life total too much. But yeah, that's just so brutal to just draw 3 creatures in a row when we already kept a 2 creature hand. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we like a Spirit Mantle or something, just like anything really. There's a Bloodbraid. Let's see what they hit. Kolagon's Command. That's not too bad. I mean, they can make us discard a card and shock us, I guess. Well, we'll discard our Gladecover Scout. I'm pretty happy we held that. Path isn't looking amazing, but at least it's like a card. Like literally, there's just a 1/1 with no text at this point. We'll see what attacks they do. Okay, they go for that. Do we want to block anything? I actually think I am just gonna double block the Bloodbraid off as bad as that is. Like, our life total is low enough that just taking a bunch of hits doesn't look great, especially since they could have more burn. And like, these Boggles are literally doing nothing. Like, yeah, it just you want to draw like 2 Boggles. Drawing more than 2 is just a disaster. Okay, come on, deck, give us an enchantment, please. Okay, that's an enchantment. So we'll put that here. Now they can, if they can kill the Keen Sense, the Daybreak Cornet will also fall off, which is awkward. So hopefully they don't have an Abrupt Decay. But I don't think we win by just like not doing anything here. And we do have Luris still. So if they're using an Abrupt Decay on that, they might not have an answer to the Boggle. Kolagon's Command. Okay, so they get back their Bloodbraid and make us discard our Path, which is a bit annoying, but not too bad. Like, Bloodbraid does not match up well against this Boggle. Okay, yeah, they don't have an Abrupt Decay, so I think we're actually in an okay position here. Much better if we find a way to give this evasion, but even if we don't, we can just gain a ton of life and, like, keep on hitting in there. Alright, so that's bad. We will get this. And I am just going to play the land, I think. Yeah, I'm going to play the land, because I would love to be able to play second Coronet. This is bad if they top deck Liliana of the Veil or Kolagon's Command number 3, but I still think this is worth it. So we'll attack. I'm just going to attack them. I don't care that much about the Ren and 6, and it would be sweet to draw a card, but either way, they're just going to block. Alright, so our life total is high. Hopefully this Bloodbraid doesn't hit Liliana of the Veil. I guess maybe knowing that they were going to play Bloodbraid, that was actually a misplay. Yeah, especially, yeah, we should have held the land in hand. That was a misplay. We didn't get punished, but we shouldn't have done that. Terminate not looking too good here. Really good that our Luris isn't in play. So now if we draw a land, we can get a second Coronet, and then this is protected. No matter what, they can't get rid of our 2 Coronets. So I think if we draw a land, we can just win. And even if we don't draw a land, going like Luris plus just another Boggle is decent. They can keep on returning lands, and we do not care too much about that. I guess if they could Ren and 6 Ultimate and cast a bunch of Kolagon's Commands, that could be annoying. Ooh, I think I'm just going to cast that over Luris here. Getting Trample here is a big upgrade. Now we can draw a card with Keen Sense. And also just like pressure their life total, obviously. Plus, if we draw a land, we can still play Lurrus and get something back. So we go for the chump. They just take 4. We draw a card. It is land, so I'll just fetch basic planes and play Lurrus. Actually, yeah, no, I will fetch basic planes. I don't think they'll have. I mean, if they have Assassin's Trophy, we get very slightly punished. But we have 5 lands. Like, we're not desperate for more lands here. All right, so we're very well insulated against like anything they could have that I could think of. I mean, if they have main deck engineered explosives for 1, we get sort of burned. If they have that plus a way to kill Lurrus, I guess. But that's a lot. And we're at 24 now, so I think we're in pretty good position. There's another Pyromancer. Don't care about that. We know that they have oh yeah, just the lands. So they drew some cards, but I still think that they're pretty dead here. All right, sweet. Took down Jund in game 1. Now we get to bring in ley lines, which are very strong in this matchup. They shut down their discard and Liliana of the Veil. We do lose Lurrus, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. I think I'm just gonna cut the paths. They're fine, but like they're not really necessary. They're bad against Seasoned Pyromancer and Bloodbraid. If they're on Dark Confidant, like I think that's not the game we're worried about. So yeah, I think that's 1 cut, and then Core Spirit Enter is a bit dicey because they do have a lot of ways to kill it, but I think it's fine. I like the things with Totem Armor. Ranker is just like the best card. Drawing extra cards. Keen Sense is good, drawing extra cards. And I think we can cut a Spirit Link. And I kind of want to cut 1 Core Spirit Dancer. I think I'll cut 1. When you have Leyline, you can trim on creatures a bit because like what you really don't want is have 1 creature and then they thought seize it. But when you have Leylines, like this sort of acts as a backup creature because it protects your first creature. So, yeah, we'll do that. And hopefully draw a sweet one. Alright, great hand. I mean, we don't have a 1-mana Bogle, but we have a Leyline, which is super important. And we can go turn 2, Core Spirit Dancer, they have to kill it. And then turn 3, Spirit Dancer plus Spider Umbra. And sacrifice things do get around Ethereal Armor, I believe, or Totem Armor, I believe, but we can't they can't target us with Liliana's -2 because of the Leyline. So we will just play Temple Garden tapped, pass the turn. All the Glitters was a bad draw. Like, we're a bit mana deprived, and we already have power and toughness from the double Spirit Dancer, so that was definitely not a really good one. They play 1/2 Tarmogoyf, okay. I mean, yeah, I'm going to cast the Spirit Dancer. It's very, very likely to die, and if we had a second one, we wouldn't do this, but high upside, and also, like, at least this means I guess they can, like, if they kill this, then their Goyf becomes bigger, but they can't, like, advance their board with, like, a Pyromancer or something like that if they're going to be killing this. And if they somehow don't kill this, then that's sweet. I mean, they can kill it in response to our auras, but, like, we would take that cantrip when we really want lands. Best case scenario, I guess if they go like Kolaghan's Command. Oh no, Kolaghan's Command, they can't even do good stuff with that. They'd have to make themselves discard a card. That's hilarious. They can't target us. There's no artifacts to target. There's no creatures in graveyard to target. So the only way to cast Kolaghan's Command is deal 2 damage and the player discards. So they would actually have to make themselves discard a card. I guess they could like discard a Planeswalker and make the Goyf bigger to put a clock on, but that's still a pretty weak line. Hilarious. They're doing it. Okay, they just discarded Inquisition. That makes sense too. So hit us for 4, and now we really want to draw land. Nice, beautiful. So I'm just gonna fetch a basic, even though we do have some heavy white stuff in hand. My life total could matter here. So land, Core Spirit Dancer, and we're gonna put an Umbra on it. Even though this means that it can't block well, this protects us against a Fatal Push. And next turn we can give a lifelink, so we can take a hit and it's fine. I'm not gonna block here. Yeah, I'm not gonna block here. It's not worth risking it. Okay, Liliana, but they can only plus, so this should be fine. We're gonna pitch and all that glitters. It's just a way worse ethereal armor, especially when we have when it's on this. It hit us for 6. That's a big hit, but it's not gonna be enough because we're gonna gain a ton of life. Alright, so we'll cast a Coronet. This is like, we'll almost definitely play Ethereal Armor, but we definitely want to play the Coronet. Sure. We will Shock and play Ethereal Armor. And I think some draws will just win here. Like a Rancor would probably win. Okay, second Coronet we can't cast. We'll just cast this. Just in case they, like if they Assassin's Trophy this, then we don't want to lose to the Liliana Edict. And we're not going to kill the Lily. I don't care about that. I would rather just hit them for 14, put them down to 4. And now we're in a, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just good. If they have double Fatal Push, I guess that would do it, but I really don't think they have that. I feel like they would have already used a Fatal Push. A 6-7 Goyf is pretty big, but a 14-16 with first lifelink, vigilance, reach, and the potential to become much bigger can beat a Goyf in a head-to-head showdown. We don't have trample, so they can jump block this and get some more draw steps, but we're just going to be at like an infinite life at that point and just drawing more cards and stuff, so this Leyline really put in work here. We would have gotten crushed if we didn't have that. We'll pitch a Misty Rainforest. Don't really need more lands. Plague Engineer, so they can kill. If they kill this, okay, they kill that. So, I mean, yeah, they're threatening us a lot if they can deal with the Leyline. This does have first strike, so we don't need to worry about the death touch from this, but we don't have evasion cells, so trample would be ideal. Alright, do we want to crack this? I think I'm going to crack this for a Dryad Arbor just to thin the deck a bit. This is naming Scout, so the Dryad Arbor will not die immediately. Alright, come on, deck. Give us something with evasion. Perfect. Alright, that will do the job. You even got a Keen Sense. Draw that extra card. Love to see it. No, you didn't let us cast our Keen Sense. Alright, so this was actually sweet. I was not expecting to go 4-1, frankly. I did not think this deck was going to be amazing, but it really felt pretty powerful. I mean, the Eldrazi Tron matchup felt disastrous, and I don't think you can do much about that. But there are a lot of, like, low-to-the-ground red and black decks that this deck just really beats up on. Leyline is a savage sideboard card. Daybreak Coronet is just very difficult for a lot of those decks to beat. And yet you just dodge a lot of interaction. So the deck felt strong. Griff Spoon overperformed. I actually would maybe even want a third. This was just pretty sweet. Keen Sense was solid. It was, yeah. I wouldn't really want to go up on Keen Sense, but I did like the 2. And also, if you add another Griff Spoon, it becomes better. Spirit Link we could probably cut. Like, yeah, it's good, but like in some matchups. But those matchups are already pretty good. So I guess, and All the Glitters was a bit expensive. So I could imagine maybe wanting to like trim a Spirit Link and an All the Glitters for a third Griff Spoon and like another Hyena Umbra maybe. And then in the sideboard, it felt fine. I mean, the paths were a little bit awkward. They were just never really what we wanted, which might mean I was just playing them poorly and I should have been siding them out in some situations. But yeah, the deck felt pretty strong, and I thought it wouldn't be well positioned. Like, I went to MTG top 8 and it was like under 1% of the metagame and declining, but it felt very good there. Small sample size, but huge thanks everyone who commented that they would like to see this deck. I had a lot of fun with it, and hopefully you enjoyed watching it. And it's not my normal type of deck because it doesn't give you quite as many choices as a lot of decks I like to play, but it's still pretty fun, and it's really sweet when it works, which it did a lot in this league. So, again, thank you for the suggestion. Thank you for watching, and definitely let me know if there's other decks you'd like to see me play. See you next time.